Good morning, guys. Okay, today we are doing our normal 5-minute warm-up. We have a 12-minute AMRAP for our workout today, and we do have a finisher. So a little bit shorter workout part with a finisher added onto it. First thing we're going to start out with is in the position that Nathan's in, cat-cow. Okay, we're going to be starting out in cat-cow. All right, here we go. 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, begin.
Exercise 1.
Shoulders nice and high, and dropping that lower back down and back up. Morning, Andy. Ten more seconds. Try to get the upper back as high as possible, and then drop that rib cage as low as possible while bringing that head up when you drop that low rib cage.
1. Rest.
Okay, guys, next we're going to go on one knee, and we're going to do hip pulses. So one knee down, then we're going to drive forward, and we're going to rotate. So we're going to go prisoner position, hands behind the head. So you're going to pulse forward just a little bit, and then you're going to rotate towards the knee that's up. Rotate towards the knee that's up. Make sure you give yourself a little bit of pulse. So you're going to squeeze that back glute, going forward just a little bit. It's not just a rotation, it is going forward as well.
Three, two, one. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. Go ahead and switch legs for me. Do the same thing on this side.
1. Exercise 1.
We are turning towards the leg that's up, turning our right shoulder towards the left leg, or left shoulder towards the right leg.
Three, two, one. Rest.
Okay, next we're going to glute bridges, and we're going to do a glute bridge march. Glute bridge march. So hips up, and you're just going to stay in that tall position. You're just going to move one leg at a time.
Exercise
Bringing that knee, not quite all the way to the chest, but just bringing it up as far as you can. Doesn't have to be a full leg kick. You can keep that knee tucked. Keep the glutes squeeze, abs tight.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
All right, guys, we're going to stay in the same position. We're going to be laying down, though. We're going to do leg lowering. So feet all the way up. Try to get those toes tucked towards you as much as possible, and you're dropping one leg at a time.
1.
Up
Exercise 1.
and down. So leg lowering. Legs up, dropping one leg at a time, up and down.
Three, two, one. Rest.
All right, guys, next we're going to do bear crawl. So in bear crawls, we're going to do just short little steps. We're going to go about 2 or 3 steps forward, 2 or 3 steps backwards. You can't do a bear crawl. You can do a baby crawl or a bird dog. You can do a baby crawl or a bird dog. Baby dog crawl just means your legs don't come off the ground. And a bird dog, you're just going to take one arm out and one leg out. 15 more seconds. Try to keep those hips low, knees just barely off the ground.
Three, two, one. Rest.
All right, guys, we have groiners next. So on a groiner, we're going to jump forward and back. The farther you can jump, the more mobile you are, a little bit less. Or you can do a mountain climber instead. Begin. Mountain climbers work as well. So you got groiners, which is jumping all the way up and back, short groiners, or mountain climbers. Everybody's camera angles are good today. I like them.
3, 2, 1. Rest.
Rest. Good job, guys. Next, we're going to do frog jumps or body weight squats. Frog jumps or body weight squats. We're just going to touch the ground, jumping up. We're just going to keep our head high.
Exercise 1.
Begin and do some regular body weight squats, sitting down and up. Always try to keep those eyes up. That allows the hips to drop a little bit more naturally. Ten seconds.
3, 2, 1. Your timer is complete.
All right, guys, go ahead and rest and grab a drink. I do apologize if I'm cutting out a little bit this morning. But luckily in today's workout, it won't matter near as much since we're doing a 12-minute AMRAP and it's just kind of go around, round, 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 round. All right, guys, while you're grabbing a drink, a couple tools you will need today. If you need something for your elbow for side planks, grab something like that, a pillow or a blanket or something. From there, we are doing hip thrusts. So if you can put your shoulders on a couch, on an ottoman, some of that nature. Otherwise, we do have a modification to do it on the ground. And then boot strappers. So we're doing boot strappers. So if you have a kettlebell, a dumbbell, anything that you'd like to weight for that, or we can do a wall sit instead. And those are the only 3 tools. We're going to have 3 exercises. Okay, so for the first circuit, first circuit, because we have a finisher today, we're going to do a 12-minute AMRAP. So AMRAPs as many rounds as possible. And you're going to do 12 minutes just going around as many times as you can. So your pace and Nathan's pace most likely will be different. So the main goal is trying to just, once you get used to the routine, just move at your own pace as good as you can. So the first thing we're going to start off with is side planks. So we have the long side plank, feet all the way out. And all he's going to do is just hip up and down 1, hip up and down 2, hip up and down 3. From there, you can shorten his knees and make it a little bit easier. Same idea here, up and down. So you're going to do 10 on one side and then 10 on the other side, okay? So 10, 10. And then we're going to go put our shoulders on some type of elevation. Try to keep your shoulder blades nice and tight to it if you can. And then from here, we have the double leg variation first. So he's going to drop his hips down and up. You can always weight the double weight version as well, which will make it a little bit harder. So you're just going to count 10 total reps on that variation. From there, we can go single leg and drop a hip one at a time. And he's going to count 10 per leg on this one. So it's going to be a little bit slower. There. Then he'll switch legs after 10. We can also take that variation to the ground. And we're going to do single leg glute bridges. So shoulders down, one leg up and down. And if you need to make that a little bit harder, you can always put a band around that foot. And you'll do 10 per leg on that. So if you're doing a single leg variation, it's 10 per leg. If you're doing the double hip thrust, it's just 10 total. And the last thing we have is boot strappers. So you can do boot strappers body weight wise, driving those hips down and then all the way up, down and up. So 1, 2, and then Nathan can always add a weight to it if you want to as well, putting it between. He's trying to see how he keeps his elbows right inside of his knees. That helps keep those knees apart. Okay, so we got that variation. And the last thing we can do, we can always do a wall sit too. If you're gonna do a wall sit, you can just take one hand overhead at a time. So just counting 1, 2, 3, just in case you can't do a bootstrapper, because I know they're tough on knees. So just gonna do a wall sit and then just count 1, 2, and you're counting up to 10 for that, okay? So there's the different variations we have today. You got about 30 seconds. Let's go ahead and kick on your music. If you want some music, grab your water bottles, bring them close to you. Get any tools to position where you need to access them pretty quickly. Rounds go pretty quickly in this one unless you're doing the single leg variation. So you want to try to just get through as many as you can. All right, guys, about 10 seconds. Here's a 12-minute AMRAP. All right, everybody looks good in their videos. We are going to be starting off with that side plank, guys. We're going to go down to your side plank position. Here we go. And get started in 3, 2, 1. Begin. 12 minutes.
Exercise 1.
One hip lift at a time, counting 10 total, then switching sides. Try to keep that body as in line as possible. Do 10 on one side, 10 on the other. And then from there, you're going to go to hip thrust. You're going to put your shoulders on something, or you're going to lay on your back. If you're doing the single leg hip thrust, it's one leg is 10 and the other leg is 10. If you're doing the double leg, it's just 10 total. This is one of those days you can really crank that music up because I won't be talking near as much, and you can just go to work. You try to keep that straight legs out straight. Good. And then from there, you have bootstrappers. When you're done with that, you have 10 bootstrappers. And then you'll go back through it again. If that single leg variation gets too hard, which can get pretty tough on the hamstrings and glutes, don't be afraid to go over that double leg in future rounds if you need, or mix and match between the two. You can always put a weight across the double leg variation as well. Good job, guys. Most of you guys, it took about a minute and a half for round one. Got 10 minutes left. Grab on those bootstrappers, let those hips drop all the way down for me. Eyes up. It's 10 side planks per side, 10 single leg hip thrusters per side, followed by 10 bootstrappers. Eight minutes left. Good, side planks look great. Remember, don't be afraid to bend those knees on those side planks if it gets a little too tough for you. Sometimes that long lever arm gets a little rough. Everybody is checked in for the day. 60 of this morning. Everybody's moving at a great pace. Don't be afraid to grab a drink as you need. Maybe use at the end of every round or every 2 rounds, grab yourself a quick drink. We are officially at the halfway point, guys. That's 6 minutes down with 6 minutes left to go. Good job, guys. I don't really have a lot of technique things to improve. You guys are killing this one. It's pretty simple movement patterns. Everybody's moving at a quick pace as well. Bootstrappers are looking great. Make sure when you're doing the side planks, so you keep your shoulders in line with your hips, which means you don't want your butt really behind you. You want it straight down from your shoulders. So if you were to look right down at your hips, make sure they're right underneath your shoulders. All right, guys, we're at that 4-minute mark. 4 minutes left. Most people are getting about around every 2 minutes is the pace I'm seeing. Unless you're doing double hip thrusters, those go a little bit faster. As on anything, keep the abs nice and tight, especially on those hip thrusters. Want to keep that core locked in. The more we can keep a solid position through the core, the more all the other muscle groups activate. We're approaching the final 2 minutes, guys. Final 2 minutes. Try to get one more full round around if you can. Last minute. Just keep working as quick as you can in this last minute. Try to keep that pace up as much as possible. "20 seconds. Last 10 seconds. 3,
2, 1.
and rest, guys. Go ahead and grab yourselves a quick drink. We do have a 5-minute finisher today. So grab yourselves a drink. You really don't need anything today except for we're going to be doing push-ups. So if you need a pad for your knees or you're going to do push-ups incline variation, you can get something that can be inclined if you need. You can always do an incline push-up on a sturdy armchair. Good job, guys. AMRAPs are nice because you move at your own pace. But if you're challenging yourself, they can be rough as well. So today's Tabata is 2 exercises. So Tabata is 20 seconds of work with a 10-second rest period, okay? And then you'll do another exercise for 20 seconds with another 10-second rest period. We're gonna do those 2 things 5 total rounds. So our Tabata, 20 10s. So the 2 exercises we're gonna do, exercise number 1 is gonna be a push-up. So we have all the different variations of push-ups we can use. So the main thing is keeping the hands, you see how they're kind of in his armpit position, right? They're in line with the armpits. He's taking his hands and screwing them in the ground, which means that we're actually using the ground to create a little tension. He's just pressing up and down, glutes tight. We can also turn that into a hand release push-up if we need to as well. So you can take his hands off. I know I had to, towards the end, had to go over to these. We can go knee push-ups. So on knee push-ups, bring those hips through, very important. So think of a plank. We don't have those hips straight. We're just coming up and down. See how his hand positions are still the same spot? He's not taking his nose towards his hands and nose diving, what we call it, right? See the difference between that and the other variation where he's straight out? We can also do that incline if you have something to incline. Just make sure if you're using something that's inclined, that it's sturdy. And don't hand release on those. But couches work, especially armchairs of couches work really well. Ottomans sometimes might be a little too soft. The other exercise we're going to do is a variation of high knees. So the hardest variation is trying to get the knees as high as you can go, run in place. All right, from there we can always bring just more of a run in place where we're not getting those knees as high. And then we can always do a march. Make sure on the marches you're still trying to go as fast as you can go, all right? So those are 2 exercises back and forth. Push-ups can get pretty tough, but that high knees I find is actually the harder part for me. Okay, guys, so go ahead and get yourselves in position for push-ups to begin with. We have 20 seconds of work. We have 5 total minutes of this. Start off with our first 20 seconds of push-ups in 3, 2, 1, begin.
Exercise 1.
You're gonna try to get as many as you can. They're definitely going to add up over the next few rounds. It's okay to go to knees later on if you need, or go to hand release later on if you need.
3, 2, 1.
And rest. Good job, guys. From there, we're going to variation of high knees. Pumping those knees as high as you can go, or running in place, or a march.
3, 2, 1.
Begin.
Exercise 2.
Good job. Use those arms too, not just the legs. The arms need to be working too. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good, guys. Back in those push-ups. We're going to round 2 of push-ups. Try to challenge yourself as much as possible in the beginning and then start modifying as we go.
Exercise 1.
Begin. Abs tight, glutes squeezed.
3,
3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job, guys. Next, we're going to go back in those high knees.
3, 2, 1. Exercise.
Begin. Moving as quick as you can. Biggest thing is just keep the knees moving or doing something that you're moving. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Good job, guys. Round 3 of push-ups. Round 3 of push-ups.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 1.
Begin. Try to keep that technique as quality as you can. Don't be afraid to go to your knees or hand release if you need by now.
3,
2, 1, and rest. Good job, guys. Back in the high knees.
3, 2, 1.
And begin.
2.
8 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, and rest. Round 4 of push-ups. Got 2 rounds left, 4 and 5.
3, 2, 1.
And begin.
Exercise 1.
Keep that technique. Technique's most important right now. Less reps are okay if you keep that technique. 3, 2, 1, and rest. High knees.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 2.
Begin. High knees, pumping, pumping, pumping. Good job, Jamie. Keep those hands moving, arms moving.
3,
2, 1, and rest. Final round, guys. Final rounds. Starting out with push-ups.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 1.
Begin. Five more seconds.
3,
2, 1, and rest, guys. Push-ups are done. Last set of high knees.
3, 2, 1. Exercise
Begin. Last 20 seconds. Go, 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 go. This is it. Done for the day after this. 10 more seconds. 5 more seconds.
3, 2, 1.
And that is it, guys. Great job.